Hello, everyone. This is the first time I'm recording with a snipping tool by Windows instead of OBS because I think it's a little bit faster and I think I can do like simple stuff like this. So let's go through head comparison by Roblox. So if you don't know, they're removing all classic faces from I think only the store. I think the faces will still be on Roblox, but you just won't be able to buy them anymore, I suppose at least. And they're gonna you replace it with dynamic heads. So here is the list. So as you can see, there's the face name and then the classic and then the dynamic one. So what does it say here? The following table compares the classic decals with the dynamic head equivalent. The references below are not final and are subject to change. Okay, so keep in mind, I think they're open to criticism and are improving faces because I did notice a couple of faces did get revisions from previous times. So that is good that they're listening to critique. Obviously, most people don't want this change because people just don't like dynamic heads in general. I personally think it's a pretty cool uh, thing to have dynamic heads. It's obviously expressive and stuff, but a lot of people like the charm of classic faces as well. So you gotta give it to them that they should be able to use classic faces and express themselves the way that they want. So let's go through all of these faces and let's see. Oh yeah, by the way, one thing I wanted to clarify is that they have stated in the past that it would be a one-to-one replica. So I'm gonna rate them based on if they actually look one to one. So even if there's like a slight thing that doesn't match, it's kind of false advertising because you're saying it's gonna be a one-to-one replica. If it's not, then you're not promising or not giving us what we want. So let's start off with the I don't even know how to pronounce it. Just the money face, right? The dollar signs. Oh, pretty classic face. Looks really cool, very funny, expressive. I guess you could say. Very simple. It tells a story. I feel like every face on Roblox does tell a story. For example, here it's like someone looks at money, they're like, ooh, or they always have money on their mind, I guess. As you can see, the dynamic equivalent kind of feels soulless in a sense that it got obviously it's gonna drastically change in quality as well because these faces are definitely old, and plus these are not images. I feel like some people think they're images, they're actually meshes. So obviously a mesh is not going to be pixelated because it's a mesh. It's not a texture or a decal. It's geometry that's gonna move and stuff. So if this blinks, it'll like shrink down or something. And also this isn't a circle perfectly, but to be fair with dynamic heads, it is kind of hard to make it like a circle because it has to be animated or whatever. Uh, it's definitely possible, I would suppose, at least. But this one is not too bad. But I feel like people are not gonna like this one because it just doesn't look like the original. If you go to this one, it looks more similar. I mean, it's pretty simple because it's just like rectangles, right? So there's not much to really mess up here. But they kind of messed up the eyes a bit, which is surprising because this isn't like a circular shape. Well, obviously this is 3D, right? So you have to weight paint everything. So I could see like it being kind of difficult, but here it should be relatively simple considering it's just like a rectangle or well a cube in a rectangular form. I don't know what the noun is for that. Or well rectangular. That's what it is, right? Rectangular cube. Okay, whatever. You you pinch it in and then you just I don't know. I always do a boolean. But you can definitely do it with just edge loops or cutting it. Right? Maybe that's too technical, whatever. Um, you know, they kind of did mess up the eyes a bit on this one. Or maybe yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same. I feel like Yeah, I mean it's not too bad honestly. I think I'm just finding things to point out. I feel like a lot of people do that. Definitely Roblox nowadays. They just find things to point out and shit. So I mean, honestly, it's decent. It's decent. This is definitely like one of the closer ones I've seen. One of the more simpler faces seems to be one of the more closer ones. Who would have thought, right? um, 8-bit heart face. This is honestly pretty weird considering like the smile looks very asymmetrical. Yeah. I mean, smile is kind of asymmetrical on this one. Kinda. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell actually. I think yeah, it is. I feel like this smile in general has always been asymmetrical. I suppose. I don't think I don't think it is symmetrical at all. So maybe it just feels kind of like how do you describe it? Like I don't know. It doesn't feel smooth. It feels kind of eh. Before the rest, the eyes obviously they're just heart shaped, so it's not too difficult to do that. So decent. It's only the mouth that really looks weird. But then again, it is gonna be animated, so how much of that is gonna be like a problem, we'll see. Also, I do want to point out I've pointed out a lot of things, but uh, if you use R6 and you use, for example, this face, it's not gonna be this because this is the R15 idle pose. If you use R6, it like doesn't do all of the dynamic head stuff unless they fix it. So it's just gonna be like a straight like I. This is the idle mode, but there you have an idle pose and then you have a rest pose. So if you use R6, it's gonna be a rest pose. You can already see that in dynamic heads now. If you wear a dynamic head and then you go into an R15 game, you'll have its idle pose. But if you go to R6, you'll have its rest pose where it just doesn't have any expression, not even a smile. Um, and sometimes the eyebrows aren't even there too because that's part of the whole dynamic heads settings that R6 just doesn't have, but R15 does. So that might have an impact unless they added that to R6 too. Hopefully they did because I feel like that's something they should add. This one, yeah, again, it's the mouth, but the thing is, the mouth is obviously 3D, right? Um, and they could have gone two ways with it, and they chose for the normal traditional method, which is just like in AEPBR, for example, just cutting it into the head, except APBR uses a boolean, which is non-destructive. This is a destructive method, which obviously you need to have that to make it compatible with game engines and stuff, because you wouldn't be able to use booleans or whatever in Roblox Studio. But that's uh, not too important to discuss right now. But you just have to know you have this method where they pinch it into the head, and then the other method is some that I saw on YouTube. My friend Oscar Comics Productions showed me someone recreating the dynamic head for the man face. Probably come up here later. And they use a method where you have the normal head, and then you have an outside layer which is like geometry. So it's not in the head. It's just outside geometry that's then rigged and animated. And I feel like that would have been a way better method to use than the actual dynamic heads. For some dynamic heads, the pinching method works, but I feel like for some of these, like here, you can definitely tell the geometry is warped. And obviously, that's just a normal thing with weight painting, right? Unless you do like a bunch of bones or stuff, you'll always have this because it's actual geometry pinched in. So you'll notice that if it was just separate geometry of like a line that's animated, you wouldn't see that, and it would look closer to the original references. So I feel like they could have maybe gone with that. But I guess it's a little bit too late now that they've done it with most of the faces like that. There's no Roblox dynamic head that does it like that for the mouth, at least, because like the eyes, I'm pretty sure the eyes are still like normal geometry, or maybe they're also pinched in. Actually, could be possible that they're also pinched in. I would suppose these are actually like separate objects as opposed to the mouth here. But yeah, I feel like they could have done that. So I don't know why they didn't. I feel like that would have looked a little bit cleaner. When I do 2D cartoon face rigs like I did for Greg versus Gerg or for other clients, I've always done it like that. And my friend Comics Productions also does it like that. And that's how I always do cartoony rigs. So I feel like they could have used that approach for at least the mouth. Because I do think for some of these dynamic heads, or most of these dynamic heads actually, the eyebrows, I know that's definitely a separate object. And the eyes are also, on the ones I've seen, have been separate, meshes as well. Or like separate meshes inside one mesh, because I think everything's in one mesh. Or not. Is it? I don't remember actually. But it's a separate mesh. It's not connected or cut through the head. So I feel like they could have done that for the mouth as well. Maybe they wanted to add teeth or whatever. Because if you want to add teeth, then yeah, you got to do that. Unless you do the method, I forgot the name of the dude. It was a really cool recreation of the man face rig, and he used back face culling to do teeth with the mouth and stuff. And it was still a separate layer, but it was compatible with Roblox Studio, and it looked really good. It looked way better, in my opinion, than the one that Roblox actually put out. So they could have definitely done that. Like there's no reason that they couldn't have done that. They definitely had more freedom if a user was able to do some, that looks way cleaner, But all right, let's move on. So I did this one here. Yeah, it just doesn't look similar. The mouth is straight here. It's more curved here. It's kind of straight, but there's like, you see, like it's way more curved here. Here it just looks like straight line almost. And then the eyes are definitely not similar at all. They're way bigger. Same with the eyebrows. So yeah. All right. Next up we have colon dash question mark, or just this face, right? This one is actually really good. So I don't have any critique on this. If people want to say, oh, it's not low quality, like honestly, I think it is. It's 2026. I feel like it is kind of better to have higher quality, higher definition. The only thing people might say is, oh, I don't want it to be animated. Maybe Roblox will give us freedom to let it stay in the idle pose, but I don't think they will, honestly. They have been very vocal and about saying like, oh yeah, animated heads are way more expressive and stuff, and you can express way more emotions when it's animated than just a still image. So I don't think they will. Plus, they had to obviously like pay someone to do all the fax poses or whatever. So I don't think they're gonna give us the possibility to just disable that and just keep it in idle. But maybe they will. Maybe. This one is again pretty decent, honestly. Yeah, I think this one is pretty decent. Maybe these two shapes. I don't know. My human instinct says that they're kind of asymmetrical. Or maybe I'm just stripping. Maybe I'm just looking into it too much. I feel like it's kind of asymmetrical. Yeah, let's just move on. Here the mouth, the eyes look, decent. They're just circles or ovals, I should say. The mouth here looks way more circular, plus the lines are way thinner. I think this is an example of a mouth that they actually didn't pinch in, or I hope they didn't, because I feel like the geometry for that would have looked pretty weird. I guess it is possible to do it like that, but I feel like it's way easier to just do it like a separate circle outline type of thing. But it's too thin and it's too circular. It's more like an oval here. Here it's closer to a circle. Yeah. Here, I think it's decent. Yeah, I think this one looks decent. And then again, I just want to point out again, I don't wear many of these faces. I only wear like one or two faces on my Roblox avatar. So some people that have used these faces for years may say like, no, this detail isn't perfect. Feel free to comment that. And voice your critique on this as much as I have, because I haven't talked about this too much publicly. I've talked about it with friends and stuff, but I feel like dynamic heads is a cool thing. I just don't like that they're not keeping their word for it, and this one already looks atrocious. So I feel like we should just move on. Maybe the line is too thin. I think it's a decent recreation, honestly. Not that bad. This one is pretty bad. What's going on with this outline? Now I do think that they didn't do a separate like mesh. I think they actually pinched it in the head, which is not that smart, I would think. Or maybe they're doing that as like a way to close the mouth easier, to have this inside, like this separate bit, to have that inside of the head, and then whenever it closes the mouth, it closes the outline. Maybe I don't know. I haven't seen these heads actually move. I don't know if they're actually out yet. Maybe, I don't know when they're coming out, because I would love to test my face and move to see how it actually works. But yeah, honestly, this mouth is pretty bad, and these just don't look like circles, right? Or am I tripping? These definitely look like circles. These look kind of weird. I don't know why. Maybe that's just anti-aliasing or something. I don't know why. This one, the tongue looks kind of weird. I think this tongue is actually 3D. I think I saw that on a Creecraft video. I think the tongue on this one is 3D, and the eyes seem to be kind of like low compared to this one. I think the mouth here in general is also way bigger than on this one. So definitely not a 1-to-1. I don't think it's too bad. Sorry. As I was saying, I don't think it's too bad. Bro, why did my taskbar pop up? Let's click back. As I was saying, I don't think it's too bad. I just don't think it's a 1-to-1 recreation. So they didn't keep their promise on this head and on many others. But then again, they said it's not the final versions. But I think they said they were gonna fully implement this change in March, and it's already the 28th of February. So good luck with that. This face, decent. The mouth, I feel like just move that down a bit for the idol at least. And I think it's sorted. I think this one is actually pretty good recreation right there. This one is also pretty good. I just think the mouth is a little bit too small, just so make it a little bit wider here. Take it a bit down to the bottom maybe. think that one looks good. This one looks honestly pretty nice, pretty good. Um, yeah, pretty good. I would say maybe the mouth is a little bit too small, but it's not too crazy. This one looks really good as well. Would love to see how this one moves because this one is actually really really good. Honestly, I can't lie. This one again, really good. Honestly, I don't have much to critique here. Really good. Actually, yeah, these are honestly pretty good. This one, the mouth. Honestly, eyebrows maybe too thin. Honestly, not bad. Honestly, not bad. Then they went for this weird arthro. How do you even pronounce it? Arthro. Yeah, weird arthro. Um, package face. I mean, yeah, it's pretty good, I guess. Um, I guess this one is a little bit harder to make than the others because it's actually like a real face as opposed to just a couple of shapes, a couple of circles, a couple of lines. This one is actually like a real face, so I would love to see how this one moves as well. Probably, yeah, probably, it's probably a good one, I guess. This one looks, I would say good, except the mouth is little bit too high. So just take it down a bit, and I think that looks solid. Maybe the eyes are a bit too high as well. Maybe the face is just a bit too high in general. But honestly, not too bad. Here, yeah, the teeth are too short, and also the mouth shape is too round. It's supposed to be more like sharpened up. I mean, at the edges, they went more with like one of these shapes. It was more like one of these ones. So yeah. But besides that, the eyes are kind of, yeah, eyes are not long enough, I think. But it's honestly, yeah, pretty close. The eyes are honestly pretty close. It's just the mouth, I guess. But decent, not bad. It's not like one of, where was it? Yeah, this one. It's not like bad like this one, cause like, what is that? That just looks weird. And sloppy. This one, yeah, I think pretty good. Oh wait, I didn't realize the eyebrows. What happened there? Why did the eyebrows look like that? I don't know if they shrink wrapped it to the head, but either way, it should not look like this. It should look like that. So just, I guess, I think the shape is decent. I think it's just not long enough. It needs to be more like this, right? So maybe that's a small problem they had or something. This one looks decent. Yeah, yeah. The mouth maybe too high. Mm, the the teeth are like way too small. Like the what do you call it? Like the mouth and the teeth separation on this one is way too big, I would say. This one is decent, I guess, except the mouth isn't smiling enough. It's like half smiling. This one is like a smile. This one is more like a, you know. So yeah, 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 decent. Yeah, and yeah, I think this one's good actually. This one, not like it's more like a rectangle here. They rounded it out a lot. So yeah, yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this video. I just thought it'd be fun to look through all of these. There's a ton. I don't know if I'm gonna go through all of them. Maybe 572 lines. God damn. Damn. All right. This one looks decent, honestly. Maybe the mouth actually, because here it's like and then a line. Here it's more like it's rounded out at the top. Decent, I guess. Maybe this one, this smile looks kind of weird comparison to this. Here the face is like shifted to the left, or the mouth at least shifted to the left. It's kind of weird. This one looks almost the same. This one actually looks way better than this. It has like a line here and a line there. Yeah. This one doesn't look too bad. Maybe they didn't keep it like a rectangle, or what am I talking about? A rectangle. No, it's not like a triangle or a triangular. What is it? 30-degree angle. They kind of like, it's not even rounding. It's just like you kind of bevel it almost, in a sense that it's a rectangle here and then like a triangle, except for like just one flat line. They actually made 1, 2, 3. Well, this one isn't even a line. This got rounded out. The teeth um are also way thinner than on this one as well. So yeah. Here they just got rid of this, which I feel like added a lot of character. This was actually a face that I used on my Roblox avatar for quite a while before actually making him smile and be happy for once in his life. So I don't know why they removed that. I felt like this small piece added a lot of character. um, so yeah, I don't know why they had to remove that. It's not. They could have just kept it. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna add it back. It's not a one-to-one replica anymore. You know, maybe some people had like a very close relationship to this one little line, and now it's gone. Now it's ripped away from them. You know, and it was their family, and now they don't have them anymore. You know, it's a sad story, honestly. Sad. It's just sad. Yeah. I don't know what happened here, honestly. Like, it just looks this like, why is it flat? Like, what's going on here? Come on, dude. This one looks decent. I just gotta skip through some of the ones that I think look decent. Yeah, yeah. I think it looks decent. I don't know. I feel like there's some. Maybe it's just too thin. But then again, like, it looks very. It looks nearly identical. But that's, most of these look nearly identical. Just like a few things, a few little mistakes. You know, some are just bad. This one, yeah, decent. I used to play that game a lot, actually. Bacon. Back when I used to play Roblox a lot. Yeah, that was a game I used to play a lot. The smile is not the same. That's weird because I feel like most people don't care about these faces. Whoa, what happened here? Yeah, but the smile is just, it's completely different. It was a V shape here. Now it's more like a line, you know. Um, this one is decent, honestly. Maybe just too rounded out. They're always rounding it out, but then again, like, I guess it's kind of hard to do sharp, uh, sharp points when you can't scale Roblox at scaling to bones in Roblox Studio, and you would be able to easily sharpen things up. I don't get it. They added dynamic heads and they just don't let us scale. It's sad. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing, honestly. Um, yeah. Why does it? What? What did they do to the teeth? Why does it look like that? This was the face I used to use as well, I think. But now it's only. I suppose it's only for this head. However, I did see a video of like, I don't know, this was an actual video by Roblox, But it showed that you were able to select the dynamic head and then choose the head shape. So I don't know what method they're using. Either they're actually like making a separate dynamic head for each head, which would take such a long time, honestly. I don't know if they spent that much time on it, or they just found a way to like shrink wrap it or whatever, or warp it, or maybe they just warp the heads. Yeah, I don't know. This was one that still hasn't been changed because like they did sharpen it, but they also did like sharpen this as well. Like it became like a line instead of like rounded. Like you see here, it's clearly like a circular or more rounded line, and then like a line above. Like this is a clear shape. Like whoop whoop, right? I can't draw. I don't have like a sketching tool right now. Maybe I should install that. That would be pretty nice to have for these kinds of videos. But here it's more like what what like there's like these two lines. Like this should have just been one Discord, one rounded thing, you know. Smile is completely different. Like I don't know why they keep doing that. Same with this one. This one is sad to see because this was a face I used to use, and they first of all they completely removed like the what do you call it, like the blush, I guess, here as well. You know, that was obviously the choice of the artist to do something like that, and they just removed it, which is kind of sad to see. And the mouth also just looks very very weird. You know, like this is very inconsistent of an outline. This one was also kind of inconsistent, but that was just the art style of it, and it made sense because you know here was way more thicker and here was way thinner, and it closed in and it was way thinner at the center. Here they tried to keep it consistent, and here it's for some reason way bigger. I feel like they kind of tried to replicate it, but it's just kind of hard to do in 3D, you know, so they kind of messed it up there. So it's kind of sad to see. Also, this one is like not symmetrical. Like you can definitely tell, like it's sharp here, and then like I would say round, but it's like it's coming to like a point here as well. So it's not symmetrical either. This one is decent, but the mouth is too low, I think. And again, it's rounded out at the sides. This face looks honestly pretty sick, but they kind of took away its expression. Like the eyebrows aren't in the right place. The mouth has another shape. Doesn't look the same. The eyes are also like pushed to the sides as well. Like the eye, like this face definitely shows an emotion. This one just looks more confused. You know. This one is honestly decent. Decent. Yeah. This one, they should have just shrink that down a bit. Because, like, here you can see there's definitely, like, separation. Or, like, a distance. Right? But here, like, it's very close to the teeth. And the eyebrows are also way thinner on this one than on here. This one looks decent, I would say. This one looks, I don't know why it's tilted and it's rounded. Or well, it's not that round, but it's not sharp, you know. But I guess it is kind of hard to have it be sharp. So yeah, I still don't know why this is tilted though. Kind of weird. This one looks pretty jank. Like the tongue is like going to the left of the screen almost. It's going like this way. Like the tongue here is just like on the face. Here it's like going that way. It's kind of weird. And then here it's not sharp again. The eyes look pretty decent. I've already gone through this face. It's just a recolor, so I'm not gonna bother. The mouth is just ripped from, or I guess they ripped a head from the previous ones and just gave it different eyes, because this is not the same mouth shape. This is like a more of a U, rounded here mouth shape. This is also a U, but this is more like sharpened at the sides. Yeah, pretty decent. This is the face I used, but this is a recolor of the eyes. I didn't even realize they had recolors of this face. That's pretty cool. That's honestly pretty cool. But this doesn't even look the same. Was this how the previous one looked? Yeah, no. Wait, what? I'm so confused. Why did they if they took the mouth of the other one and put it here, I think they would have a nice blend. Or actually a nice replica of this eye roll face. I don't know why they used a different mount. They added this thing back though. So for the ones that were sad from the previous eye roll, guess they'll have to give their eyes a new color. You know? This one looks pretty decent. Maybe this too thin. Like here you can definitely see like there's a distance here that's way bigger than distance here. Here the distance of the top and the bottom is like pretty consistent, which isn't what the original face had. This one looks pretty jank kind of. It's too round at the side. I feel like if they just sharpened that up, it would look way better. But yeah, as I said before, it can probably be tricky to do that. And yeah, for the rest, I do think is honestly pretty fine. Plus, the mouth on this is 3D, which will look pretty cool. I hope. The mouth looks kind of jank and asymmetrical here. The mouth shape again is just the same with the previous one. This one, it's a different shape, but they just went with the generic smile shape. You know, which I do like this shape, but this one is obviously they said 1-to-1 replica. Plus, like I feel like it gives it more character. It feels like he's more confident in a sense, you know. This one is, yeah, the outline is too thin. Honestly, there's so many faces. I don't know if I should keep going. Let's just scroll and see until we find a bad one. Like this one, like what happened to the braces, you know. Smile looks inconsistent. Camouflage. This looks decent, actually. That does look decent. I'm just confused as to how it's gonna move. Is the camouflage gonna move with the face, or is it separate? Is the mouth a separate thing? Oh wait, this is the face I use. Honestly, pretty good. I think I would be rocking a dynamic head. This one is honestly pretty good. You know, maybe it's more to the right and not. It doesn't go up as much as this one. Like this one goes whoop. This one goes more like it's more flat. This one is decent. I like this face. Honestly, really good face, you know. Yeah, I don't know why the tongue is there. It's clearly closer to the mouth here. It's like coming down. Yeah, there's so many. Bro, this is so bad. Like, bro, what? Yeah, I don't know. There's so many. Whoa, wait. I thought this one looked good. Just looks weird. The mouth is like sharpening too quickly. The eyebrows are kind of squished. It's too thin and everything. They made it too flat. They made everything too flat actually on that one. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, it's too much. This one is actually a cool one. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, for the most part, it's decent. It's just not 1-to-1, you know? But then again, like that's, yeah, these ones are really bad actually. It's kind of hard to do a 1-to-1 when the one that you're trying to replicate is it's a 2D flat image and you're trying to make it 3D. They could have done the same thing that I did actually. I have made a face rig of this. Let me find it. Yeah, look, this is a video where this was a face rig I made for Greg versus Gerg 2. So be sure to look out for that. I don't know when it is coming out. I think it is pretty soon though. But yeah, look, I made an I guess you could say dynamic head. It's not a dynamic head. It's a 3D face rig for Blender. This one uses booleans actually. Or no, I think I changed it. It used to be booleans, then I switched it to shader nodes. Yeah, honestly, like it's a good face rig. It just wouldn't be compatible with Roblox. But they should have done something like what I did with like, separate mesh for, you know, for the thingies, for the mouth and for the eyes. Like I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why it had to be pinched in, you know. Yeah, as you can see the mouth is kind of glitchy here. That was with booleans. I changed it to be with shader nodes now. So it actually looks good. It doesn't have glitches because it's shader nodes. Booleans can have glitches sometimes. Definitely for these like 2D shapes. It does kind of struggle with 2D shapes. Yeah, customization, everything. Yeah, good, clean, nice, simple. Even the outline, like simple face rig. Yeah, but that's kind of like besides the point. I think Roblox has done an okay job with most of the faces. I feel like them enforcing us or like forcing, they're forcing everybody to use dynamic heads or buy dynamic heads. I don't know if they're actually gonna remove all the classic faces. That would suck. Um, but yeah, I think that was enough for the video. Yeah, bye.